In today's video, we sell some shorts. Cue the intro. Hi there folks, welcome to the video. For those of you new here, my name's Andrew. I sell stuff on eBay, Amazon and Vinted whilst working a full-time job. It's a nice side hustle, brings me in a few grand a month extra on top of my wages. I'm hoping at some point to turn it into a full-time job. Anyway, this is part 4, I believe now, of my Vinted to Range Rover challenge, where effectively I take half of what I earn each week on Vinted, put it into a pot, and then when that pot reaches £6,000, I'm looking to buy a cheap second-hand Range Rover because I like Range Rovers, so I might as well use my side hustle to treat me to one. Anyway, in this video, first of all, I'm going to start with an apology because last week I actually forgot to say what total I'd reached so far. So at the end of this video, if you keep watching to the end, I will show you, tell you, I should say, exactly what amounts that I've reached so far. Before we get to that, I'll show you what I've sold. I'll tell you how much I paid for it, what it's sold for on Vinted, and maybe a little bit more about the item. I'll flash up some comps on screen as well, so you get the details there of the type of items that are selling. So let's get into it. First off, we have got this Chelsea Champions of Europe framed print. This cost me £3. Had it listed on eBay for ages. Wasn't selling. Put it on Vinted and had an offer of £7.50, which I was happy to take. Now, with this item, it actually turned up at the buyer's house slightly damaged. The frame had been broken by the courier. So I told the buyer to report an issue to Vinted to say that the item had arrived damaged in transit. Somebody managed to not do that and report it in a different way, so that Vinted was telling me I needed to accept a return on the item. So I pressed the accept return button. Then I contacted Vinted to say, actually, this item has been damaged in transit. They said there's nothing they can do about that now because I've accepted the return, which is absolutely stupid. They should have the ability to be able to intervene and say, actually, it's damaged in transit. Here's a refund for you. Here's a refund for the buyer, and get that sorted out. But because they pressed that accept return button, which is what their guidance says to do, apparently they can't step in and do anything about that. Anyway, the buyer never sent it back. So the order completed, and I received my £7.50. Next, we have got a bundle of 2 items, 2 books that sold for £4.50. These came as part of a big, massive book haul. It cost me about £1.50 for 2 of them. Sold for £4.50, so won double my money on that. Happy enough with that. They've been sitting on eBay for ages as well, so really good to see them go. Next up, we have some New Balance Fresh Foam Row boys trainers. These came as part of a wholesale order where I picked the items that were in the wholesale order. I didn't realise these were boys trainers when I picked them up, so they were considerably less than they would have been if they were adult ones. They would have been like 20-25 quid. But yeah, as kids ones, I had to list them cheaply. I accepted an offer of £8. That's costing me £1.50 as part of the wholesale order. So technically there's a slight loss on that, but overall on that wholesale order of trainers that I made, I'm well into profit. So this just contributes to the overall money that comes back from it. So yeah, sold for £8. And it's all really quick actually, so happy to see those go. Next, this bit of retail arbitrage, kind of a fail this. It is a Lily Forever doll by Disney. Cost me £16. Only sold for £21. As you know, I like to double up on my stuff. So only making a £5 profit isn't great, but really I probably shouldn't have bought this. If I'd done a bit more research into it, I'd have seen that they were selling cheaper than I thought they were. I've actually still got one of these as well to try and sell. Hopefully that'll go towards Christmas time. But yeah, still £5 profit, but not the greatest of investments there. Next, though, was a good piece of investment. My friend Nicola actually identified this item in a charity shop, or found it in a charity shop, I should say. £6 was paid for it. It sold very quickly on Vinted for £20. So more than doubling up on that. Really happy with that. There are quite a few clothing sales in this. They're mostly shorts. But yeah, it definitely shows that Vinted is, as we already know, a good place to sell clothing. And it is another piece of clothing next. These Under Armour shorts come as part of a wholesale order of shorts. It's going to be £1.51 each for the shorts. These sold for £8, so more than doubling my money on those. As you can see with the pictures, I haven't even bothered steaming or anything, just literally taking the picture as they come out of the box. Really quick to list, and even looking really creased, these shorts are still flying out, so minimal effort there for maximum reward. Then we've got this Holy Bible, sold for £4. Quite a nice little vintage one, but it was quite small. It would have cost me 50p, sold for £4. Bidding for that. Then we have got a level 42 program. This will have cost me £1 to £2 as part of a purchase from a reseller. Sold for £8, so be enough with that. Probably still got some more of those as well, so probably have to cost this some more to Vinted at some point. Then we've got these Asics running trainers. These came as part of the same wholesale order as the trainers that were earlier in the piece, earlier in the video, I should say. So slightly under £10 that they cost. These sold for £22. So nice double up on that. Then we've got this book. Came as part of a job lot of books, so it cost me 33p each. So 33p into £2 this went for. Most of what I sell on Vinted goes on offers. So yeah, £2 from 33p. That's fine. Then we've got this Gonzo cycling jersey. This came as part of a wholesale order as well. They got a very long time ago, years ago, and have just started listing some of the contents from it this year. Yeah, cost price on this would have been about £2 or £3 as part of that order. I've already into profit on the overall wholesale order. This is just extra money coming in, which was £5. Then we've got this brand new jigsaw, cost me £3.99, sold for £8.80, so more than doubling up on there as well. Another piece of retail arbitrage that I probably shouldn't have bothered with. These from Costco, cost £13, sold for 20. I was hoping to get a bit more, but they were hanging about, so I thought I'd just take the £7 when the offer came in. Then we've got this Philip Gregory Changeling CD audio book, new and sealed, cost me £2, sold for £4. So double up there, although if you take into account the packaging materials, it's less than double up. Another item I'd had for a while, glad to see the back of. Then, as part of the same haul, where I found 33p a book, we've got this According to the Evidence book by Erich von Daniken. Probably shouldn't try and pronounce these names. Went for £3. And we're back to the shorts. These Adidas women's shorts, size 12 to 14 medium. They sold for £8. Part of the same wholesale order where they were £1.51 each. So happy with that. And then another pair of shorts, some Nike Dry Fits, again, £1.51, part of the wholesale order, selling for £8. You can see actually that from this, that buying wholesale does work. You can more than double your money because we've got another pair of shorts from the same haul that cost me £1.51 and sold for £6. So yeah, that overall shorts haul now is into profit as well. And I've still got another box of 100 shorts from that haul I haven't even been through yet. So I'm going to make some really good money from it. It's just a shame they haven't got any more, but I do keep watching them to see if they restock and when they do restock, whenever that may be. I'll be ordering some more shorts because I've done really well with the shorts I got from them. And then finally, we have a bundle of 2 items, £2. They cost me 50p each, so £1 and all, and sold for £10. Not 50p each, sorry, 25p each, 50p in total, sold for £10. So, happy with that. Nice bit of profit made. We are entering a bit of a dry spell for the next video or two, but things have picked up on Vinted again in the last few days for me, so Vinted is starting to make money. I've made a few changes in my approach to how I use Vinted. I'm now sending each buyer who favourites an item, as well as sending them an offer, I'm also sending them a little message to say I can ship within 24 hours of purchase. Once or twice that has led to a purchase, but what it seems to be doing, or theory that I'm working with anyway, is that it seems to be increasing the activity on Vinted, because I'm certainly getting a lot more people favouriting items, and I'm getting more sales as well, and some big chunky ones coming through. But we will see those on a future video, because I promised I would reveal what the total stands at so far. So we started off with £0. The premise is that 50% of Vinted money goes into the Range Rover pot. The other 50% goes towards covering bills like cost of goods, packaging materials, and rent on my warehouse as well. And as you can see, as I'm generally doubling up or more on each item, then that basically means the 50% I'm saving is roughly the profit that I'm making on sales on Vinted. And yeah, we are at £256 and 12 pence currently. So we are definitely getting towards the target. It would be nice if by the end of the year I am halfway towards that target. But that requires me putting a lot more listings and a lot more higher value items on Vinted, which is all part of the plans as we progress through the year. So we'll see how it gets on. Anyway, if you've made it this far in the video, comment running down below, because I do like to see that people have, watched the content and enjoyed it. So that just gives me a good indication. Thank you so much for watching. Apologies for the lack of content so far this last few days, but my family have been over. We should be back to our normal 2 to 3 uploads a week from next week. Bye for now.